Welcome back, Weight Warriors. 16 weeks ago, the end of December, with less than 40 minutes left of the year, I made a huge commitment, a decision to lose weight. And I've done this, again, every year. Every year, New Year's resolutions would come around, and I would think, all right, this is the year I'm going to lose weight. But this year was different. This year, maybe it's because I failed hundreds, maybe thousands of times. I don't know if I could say thousands, but so many times I would just say, I'm going to start on Monday, or I'm going to start on the first of the year, or I'm going to start on the first of the month. And I would sometimes start. Most of the time I wouldn't. But when I would start, I would always fail. Or I'd have success for a few months and then do whatever and fail again. So this year I tried to do something a little different. This year I didn't try to go hard in the gym. I didn't try to force myself to go jogging. I didn't try to cut my diet down to like 1,200 or 1,400 calories. I didn't try starvation. I didn't try overexertion. I just tried changing a few key habits and behaviors, and it worked great. We'll get into that here in just a moment. But if you're new to the channel, my name's Mike. I'm a fat guy trying not to be fat anymore by making these lifestyle changes. And again, I can't stress enough. I really took a step back at the end of December, and I was like, what is my life? What is my habits? Because again, it's a very common, you probably heard this before, but your health, your physique is just a byproduct of your habits and behaviors. And so if you're going to eat like, an unhealthy fat guy like I was, you're going to be an unhealthy fat guy. It sounds simple, and there is a lot of simplicity to it. We complicate things. I think I complicated things personally because I think it gave me kind of a cop-out, or at least it gave me an excuse not to do it. But this year was different. This year, I found out that I'm going to be a dad for the first time. I'm extremely, extremely happy and excited about that. But we are just incredibly excited, and it's something changes. I think, when at least changed for me when I found out I was going to be a dad, and I just took this thing so much more seriously, and I implemented a lot of, we'll talk about what I called my 3 keys to success, but I changed really my accountability. I think has been the biggest thing. So you guys, again, I say this in pretty much every video, but I really want to stress it in this one because this is the end of my deficit, and we'll get to this here in just a moment, at the end of my kind of diet phase before I go into maintenance to fight metabolic adaptation. But sincerely, thank you for all of you guys who are rooting me on, every single one of you who are following along this journey, whether you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, or you're in the Facebook group, or you're someone who has messaged me a question, or you're in one of the weight loss groups that I'm in on, different Facebook. It's insane to think that there's really like 100 people behind me encouraging me. That again helps me stay consistent with this. But for me, I'm just drilling down on changing some of my habits and behaviors, because I think that's going to be more sustainable. Because I've tried almost all of these diets before. Not as much experience with keto and intermittent fasting, but and again we'll talk about those. But I know me. I know I'm not going to do a diet for the rest of my life, but I can go for a walk every day. But I can track what I eat every day, or at least have some sort of comprehension of what I eat every day. And so that's where it started for me. So I'm going to kind of rewind a little bit to December 2022, where I sat down and I said, I'm going to change my behavior. So again, my 3 keys to success are, which I said I was going to do for the whole year, but I'm not. I'm taking a pivot here because of what I've learned, and again, for the help and support that I've been getting in my accountability of these groups. When I shared this plan, again, a lot of people said, "Hey, you shouldn't really do a diet for more than about 16 weeks because it's not healthy." But back to my 3 keys. So key number one was around my nutrition. So I said I would track what I eat. I would count calories, and I would try to maintain a calorie deficit and try to stay under 2,000 calories a day. For me at the time, I did start and do a TDEE calculation, and it looked like my TDEE was around 2,800 calories. So I was like, 800 calorie deficit, that's a safe range. I think that's pretty good. For me, I think that did work out pretty well, but your body does become more efficient when you diet for longer. So I realized I needed to change that. But that was the first one, was tracking my nutrition. And I'm still going to track my nutrition, so I'm not giving up on that. So I am still committed to that for the rest of the year, but it's going to change. So then number 2 was activity. I was pretty sedentary. I'm an engineer, so I sit at my desk a lot. I travel quite a bit by car, and so it's a lot of sitting. I sit all the time. So I realized that, and I was like, well, I got to force myself to get moving. And I didn't want to I do like lifting weights from time to time. I've done it before. I haven't done it in probably half a decade, but the problem with the gym, and some of you guys can relate to this, and a lot of it's in my brain and my mental space, and so it's not all good things up there. But I'll just be vulnerable. I don't want to be the fat guy in the gym. I just don't want to be the fat guy in the gym. If I go to the gym, it's just there's too many people there. I feel insecure. This is a real moment. I feel like I can do that because there's only there's like 50 people watching. So if this gets more popular, then that'd be cool too. Hopefully I get to help more people. But back to the gym. I am not ready to work out in front of people. I'm not feeling that quite yet. So. Also, I didn't really like being sore. Honestly, I hate the first couple weeks when you go back into the gym and you don't want to get out of bed. Your muscles are aching. I've done that before. It sucks. I also hate running, hate pretty much any form of cardio. So I thought, what physical activity can I do and sustain for an entire year? Walking. Walking's it's okay. It's a little boring, I thought at first. I did at first have to plan to go walking. It's not something that I just naturally have time and want to do throughout the day. And so it did take me a little bit longer to ramp up the walking than it did the nutrition. But yeah, that was actually the biggest surprise was I actually absolutely love my walks now. It's great for me to clear some things that are going around in my life. Stress gets higher when your wife is pregnant, and just different things going on in life in general. I would say the last 6 months have been the most stressful time of my life for various different reasons, but those walks have been awesome. Personally, some people meditate. Relationship with Jesus Christ, highly recommend. But the time to kind of get right and just think about stuff has been extremely helpful to me. Okay, so that was my 3 keys to success. Again, key number 2 was activity. Key number 3 is accountability. Again, like I said, and also, like I said, making these videos. I have been enjoying the research and enjoying making this content. Hopefully, again, you guys are enjoying this. If you are, like I said, here's my plug. Like the video, please subscribe, share it with a friend. If you know somebody who's struggling with their weight, I want to see if this works for other people. But yeah, the accountability has been huge for me. And so with those three changes to my habits and behavior in my day-to-day life, I had more success in the last 16 weeks than any diet I've ever done in my life. And I've tried crash diets and things, but the problem is with most of these crash diets, at least in my experience, I only do them for about 4 to 8 weeks, maybe. Usually when it starts to get really hard and I start to see some results, I'm like, okay, that's good enough, and quit. But for me, like I said, this has been pretty huge. So actually, I'd like to start this off with the journey starting from again, a quick recap of January, February, March, and then where we're at now in April. Just as a recap, again, I started out at 290.2 pounds, and you see in the up right, bing there, 290.2 pounds is what I weighed in at on December 31st. Quickly dropped a ton of water weight. I dropped 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks. Again, I did a video on water weight. If you're interested in that, again, it's a slang term, but essentially your body just flushes out a lot of the stuff that you're dealing with whenever you start a diet. After that, I was pretty much consistently at about 1.5 to 1.9 pounds per week lost consistently, which is a very healthy range. If you see here, like I said, that was where my weight was at. But weight was that's what a lot of us care about. That's why it's a weight loss, Weight Warriors channel. But weight is kind of again a lagging indicator of your behavior, and it's not a true indicator also of how things are going right now, meaning what you do right now, your weight might not be affected for a week or 2 weeks. But for me, again, I kept good track of it. I weighed myself at the same time after the same behavior, meaning when I wake up, after I use the bathroom, I step on the scale. So it was very, very consistent. So I could also see the peaks and valleys, which you'll see here in just a moment. But the big thing that I want to point out again for January is look at that. I averaged 2,016 calories per day. So I had some high days, some low days, but pretty consistently around that 2,000 mark. I averaged over 10,000 steps a day, which is, again, met my goal with that. So that was great. And then as far as accountability, I made a video every single week updating you guys on how my journey went. So hit my goal for January. That was pretty cool. And then as far as, again, the weights go, or excuse me, the scale goes, like I said, immediate drop off of that water weight right off the bat, and then so for January I averaged about 4.3 pounds, but it's a little skewed because of the first 2 weeks. Anyway, going into February, I averaged 2,087 calories a day. Not quite sub 2,000, which was the goal, but still right around that 2,000 mark, which I count as a win. My steps increased to 11,573, so that's great. And then looking at my weights, again, I was there was a few, I did go on a trip the second week of February, if you guys remember that. I shot it from from the Airbnb we were staying at with the Seattle ferries going around the back, which was kind of fun. But anyway, my weights, you do see a little bit, not so much, again, kind of I don't even want to call it a plateau, just a little peak in my weights because I was eating more food for 4 days, and then kind of the trend line actually kind of washes that all out anyways. But February was only averaging about 1.4 pounds lost per week. Moving on to March. I averaged, this was even lower in calories, almost got under 2,000 calories or averaged under 2,000 calories a day, but 2006, I'll take it. But again, increase or above average steps, like I said, really, I cannot stress enough how much I enjoyed the walking. Game changer. So, like I said, steps, 11,150 average. Weight, very consistent. Let's take a look at the scale. I averaged 1.6 pounds lost per week. And like I said, pretty consistent. You see, each, and a quick note on this scale app here. So you see some of the vertical lines that go up and down. That's because, you do fluctuate pretty dramatically day to day, even if you do everything right when it comes to, or I shouldn't say not so much everything right, when you do everything consistent, meaning you're weighing yourself at the exact same time after the exact same activities, like I said, in the morning after you use the bathroom. There's still a ton of fluctuation day to day. I mean, 3 to 4 pounds. It's pretty crazy how sometimes it can just bounce, but then other times it's super consistent as it dips. So anyway, bodies are weird. But like I said, March, 1.6 pounds average, and now to April. So this is where we're at right now. And you see that number highlighted in gold, bold, 249.2 pounds. So I lost exactly 41 pounds in 16 weeks, over 40 pounds in less than 4 months. And I would say, and I would also stress this because I don't really like the headline of over 40 pounds in under 4 months. I would like to say lost over 40 pounds in under 4 months in a very sustainable way. I'm going to celebrate because that is awesome. I'm so proud of that. I'm also extremely proud of, again, looking at the average steps, 12,287 averaged a day up till April. And then calories, 2,003. So pretty close again. But yeah, that is, again, I can't say enough how much better I feel. Hopefully, I think you guys can see it in my face. I am getting a lot of those comments just in passing too, like, oh, have you lost weight? Getting a lot of those. I mean, that happens when you lose 40 pounds, 20% of your body weight, just about. Year to date, there we go. The low weigh-in, 249.2 pounds with a 41 pound loss since December 31st, averaging 2.5 pounds a week. Again, that's a lot of that water weight period, but super, super happy about how things went. All right, we're going through this video. I decided to do something that makes me extremely uncomfortable. I'm going to share before pictures of myself with my shirt off. I don't like going to the beach. I don't like going to the pool. I'm very, very self-conscious. But I thought that I've been transparent with you guys for the last 16 weeks of these weekly updates, and it would be disingenuous to not share where I'm currently at. So, I will give you a disclaimer. These are my current photos, not after photos. I'm going to do better, but right now I'm still a fat guy. So if you don't want to see a fat guy on the screen, you have my permission to click off the video. No hard feelings here. But if you stay the next 3 seconds, well, here they are. That's me. And again, this can happen for you too. You just have to decide you want to start today. You don't need to go crazy. You don't need to go to the gym. Again, I have not done any cardio. I have not done any weight training. I have not done, if you watch my video on, the different ways you can burn calories, there's essentially there's 4 ways: your body just being alive, the digestion of food, non-exercise activity, and then exercise activity. I haven't done any exercise activity. Zero. None. I don't think my heart has gone over my heart rate's gone over 150 in the past 4 months. But I have significantly increased my non-exercise activity thermogenesis with walking and trying to stand more and just being more, mobile throughout the day. And I have been paying a lot of attention to my calories. And again, these are not major significant changes. It's not even a major calorie deficit. I mean, like I said, if you watch my video on calorie deficits, like around 500 calorie deficit is really not that much stress on your body. And if you're bringing in nutrient-dense whole foods, you can make that taste good too, and you feel so much better off of it. And so if this is something you're honestly, legitimately interested in, I would love nothing more than to help you. And I'm being sincere and serious with this. Join the Facebook group, message me. I promise I will respond, at least at this point in time. This is a major focus in trying to help this, because as I help you, you're helping me with this whole journey myself. It's a little bit of a selfish help in that, like I said, Troy recommended that I look into intermittent fasting. I'm doing that. I'm learning a lot, and I'm looking forward to making a video to share with Troy what I learned. You can suggest things for me too, and I'd love to learn from that, and I'd love to, like I said, help you. So join the Facebook group, introduce yourself, let me know how I can help you, and I'm excited to see you guys on the inside.